Have you ever thought that the most transformative teachings of Jesus might have been hiding in plain sight? This is the gentle nudge of Christ consciousness, inviting you to embark on a profound journey of spiritual awakening. Beyond the everyday, it offers a path to transcendence and unity, showing us the essence of divine love and interconnectedness. At the heart of spiritual awakening is the concept of Christ consciousness, which is a transcendent state of being that embodies oneness and unity with the divine. This deep connection breaks down the illusion of separation, blending the individual soul with the limitless essence of God consciousness. It's a guiding light for those seeking to rise above the everyday, to live in a state of grace that reflects the purest form of love and understanding. But this path is often misunderstood. A lot of people are reluctant to embrace oneness, worried that it will mean losing their identity, or struggling with the idea that connecting with the divine will somehow diminish their individual essence. On top of that, the spiritual journey often comes with the misconception that you have to choose between the spiritual and the material, or between the divine and the human. These fears and dualistic views are just veils that cloud the truth of Christ consciousness. They make it hard to see the bright path to unity with the divine. It's really important to be able to handle nuances in spiritual evolution. It's not a simple path with clear-cut answers. It's a journey of understanding the complex interplay between the soul and the divine, the material and the spiritual. This mastery frees a person from the limitations of black and white thinking, opening them up to a world where the endless possibilities of divine expression are recognized and celebrated. It's in embracing the complexity that we find true deliverance into the arms of Christ consciousness. The Transfiguration of Jesus is a great example of this divine potential. This key moment takes place when Jesus takes Peter, James, and John up a high mountain. This is often a place in the Bible where people get closer to God and experience spiritual elevation. As they reach the mountaintop, the disciples see something truly amazing. Jesus' appearance changes quite a bit. His face glows like the sun, and his clothes become pure white, radiating a purity and divine brilliance that no earthly source could produce. This wasn't just a change in appearance. It was a revelation of Jesus' true divine essence, momentarily unveiled in the physical realm. His radiant appearance on the mountain, before the eyes of his closest disciples, shows that everyone has the potential to go beyond the physical and embody the light of the divine. The Transfiguration isn't just a one-off miracle. It's proof that anyone who's willing to embrace spiritual growth and commit to it can achieve it too. This story helps us see beyond the shadows of fear and duality, showing us the way to Christ consciousness. It encourages you to look beyond the surface and see the divine not as distant or separate, but as part of who you are. In every kind act, in every moment of genuine connection, in the stillness that whispers in the heart of every soul, Christ consciousness beckons. So, the path to Christ consciousness isn't about giving up who you are. It's about growing into a more profound, all-encompassing identity. It's an invitation to explore the depths of your being and discover a state of unity that goes beyond what you normally experience in the physical world. As you walk this path, remember that every step taken with love, every leap of faith across the chasms of fear and misunderstanding, brings you closer to the heart of divine consciousness and the realization of your true, luminous nature. Second, within the sacred chambers of your being, you'll find the ancient secret of balance, the harmonious integration of masculine and feminine energies. This deep connection is the foundation of spiritual well-being. It's a balance of strength and grace, assertiveness and receptivity, light and shadow. It's not about gender, it's about energy. Each soul has the potential for this sacred alchemy, the blending of sun and moon within your own heart. It's really important to work towards achieving inner harmony, because the effects of imbalance can be huge in terms of spirituality. If you have a lot of masculine energy, you might be too focused on taking action and achieving things. You might not be listening to the nurturing, intuitive messages that the feminine energy brings. On the other hand, if there's too much feminine energy without the masculine counterpart, it can lead to passivity and indecision, which lack the drive that propels forward motion. When there's an imbalance like this, it doesn't just affect us personally, but it can also have a knock-on effect in the wider world, contributing to a sense of discord. The creation of Eve from Adam is a great example of this separation and the need for reunion. In this story, Eve isn't just created as an afterthought. She comes from Adam's essence, showing the connection between masculine and feminine energies. Their separation is a call to the soul, a reminder that we all have these divided aspects within us that yearn for reconciliation and unity. This story from the Bible isn't about the beginning, but it's a way of understanding the journey each of us goes on inside. It encourages you to explore the depths of your being and recognize and embrace the dual aspects of your nature. This process isn't about making one energy more important than the other. It's about letting both energies grow and support each other in a way that creates a beautiful balance. In everyday life, this balance shows up in all kinds of ways. It's about having the confidence to stand up for what's right, while also being compassionate and understanding of other people's perspectives. It's about having the ambition to heave, but also the wisdom to pause and reflect. Every decision and every interaction is an opportunity to practice integrating the masculine and feminine energies within you. So, we'd like to invite you to embark on this profound journey of balance and delve into the sacred unity of your being. Let the story of Adam and Eve inspire you to seek the reunion of masculine and feminine energies within your soul. By doing this, you're not only transforming yourself, but also showing the way for a world that's hungry for balance, peace, and wholeness. Third, in the big picture of life, where every action and thought affects the universe, lies the old idea of karma, often seen as just retribution, but it's really the universal law of cause and effect, a mirror showing our innermost choices back to us. It's about living in a way that's reactive to the past, where what we've done in the past controls how we act now. It traps us in a cycle that feels both unbreakable and overwhelming. This is where karma comes into play. It's the starting point for every soul, caught up in a web of actions and reactions, seemingly adrift in the currents of destiny. But there's another path that shines brighter than karma's shadow, the path of Dharma, which calls to all conscious beings. Dharma is the sacred duty, the inherent purpose that, when embraced, leads to the fullest expression of the soul. It's about making a conscious choice to align your actions with the higher principles of truth, love, and service. This helps you transcend the cyclical nature of karma and embody a state of spiritual sovereignty. This sovereignty isn't about controlling others. It's about taking charge of yourself and breaking free from the chains of unconscious living to embrace true free will. Finding the right balance is key to moving from karma to dharma. It's about bringing the inner and outer worlds into harmony. It's about finding a balance between taking action and reflecting, giving and receiving, speaking and listening. When you find balance, your soul can weather the storms of karma. You'll be guided by the compass of dharma towards spiritual sovereignty. This balance is the alchemy that turns the lead of karma into the gold of dharma. It happens in the crucible of the human heart. The story of Moses leading the Israelites out of Egypt, as told in the book of Exodus, is a great example of this transformative journey. In this story, Egypt represents a state of spiritual bondage. It's a land where the soul is held back by the pharaohs of karma, our fears, attachments, and unconscious patterns. The Exodus is about taking the courageous journey towards liberation. It's a metaphorical crossing of the Red Sea that stands between the realm of karma and the promised land of dharma. Moses, as the representative of divine law, exemplifies the principles of dharma, guiding the soul out of the darkness of unconscious living into the light of conscious being. This journey from karma to dharma isn't something that happened in the past. It's something that happens every day in each of our lives. It's in the choices we make every day, in the moments of silence between our thoughts, and in having the courage to face our shadows. Every step you take with awareness, every decision you make from a place of love and truth, is a step on the path to spiritual sovereignty. You're invited to embark on this sacred journey, to navigate the waters of karma with the sail of dharma towards the horizon of spiritual freedom. You're on the road to freedom, leaving the limitations of the past behind and heading for the bright future that awaits you. This journey is something you were born to do. It's not just about freedom, but about understanding your true self as a bright, loving, and limitless being. Fourth, over time, the essence of these teachings has often been lost in translation. They've been blown around by the winds of doctrine and dogma, and misinterpreted through the lens of power and control. The message of inner unity and transformation has been overshadowed by external rituals and moral prescriptions, which have led many astray from the heart of Jesus' teachings. But for those who are looking, the original flame of truth still shines brightly, offering warmth and light to anyone who draws near. The parable of the prodigal son is a great example of Jesus' teachings on inner transformation. It starts with a younger son who, driven by youthful impatience and a desire for independence, asks his father for his inheritance early. So, the son gets his share and heads off to seek adventure and pleasure in a distant land. However, his careless spending quickly depletes his fortune, leaving him destitute and facing hardship and hunger. This is a stark contrast to the life of abundance he left behind. When he's at rock bottom, tending to pigs and craving their food, the son thinks about what he's done and realizes how bad he's messed up. This moment of self-awareness makes him want to make amends. He decides to go back to his father, ready to be humble and ask for forgiveness, even if it means being treated like one of the hired help. Much to his surprise, when he gets back, his father welcomes him with open arms. He isn't scornful or angry, but happy and excited. The son had died and is now alive again. He had been lost and is now found. This story isn't just about misbehavior and forgiveness. It's also a deep allegory about the journey of the soul, about self-discovery, repentance, and returning to a state of unity and acceptance. The younger son leaving his father's house shows how the soul can lose its way, getting caught up in the material world and the desires and illusions that trap the human heart. The return to the father's house is a touching illustration of the soul's return to unity and acceptance, the rediscovery of its true home within the divine. The father's unconditional acceptance of the prodigal son, celebrating his return without holding a grudge, reflects the limitless love and acceptance that awaits each soul that turns back to the source, seeking to become whole once again. You can take this journey of inner transformation, a journey from separation to union, from fragmentation to wholeness. Jesus' teachings encourage you to take a look inside yourself and embark on a sacred journey to find the treasure that resides in the depths of your being. It's a call to shed the layers of illusion and return to your essence, to the love and light from which you were born. As you go along this path, remember that every journey is as unique as the person who is doing it. Every step you take with sincerity, every moment of self-discovery, repentance, and return brings you closer to the wholeness that Jesus spoke of. This is the path of inner transformation. It's not just about going back to the source, but also about realizing your truest self whole, unified, and infinitely loved. Fifth, the false light, which is often mistaken for divine illumination, promises enlightenment and power. But it just leads to getting more tangled up in the illusions of the ego and the material world. The false light isn't an external enemy. It's a reflection of our innermost desires for recognition, control, and spiritual escapism. It tempts us to look outside ourselves for spiritual power, to seek validation and authority from others, which diverts us from the true path of inner sovereignty and connection with the divine. To understand and identify the false light, you need to be able to discern between what's real and what's not. This is something that comes with being an awakened soul. It's about seeing beyond appearances to the essence beneath. This discernment isn't about judging, but about having a sharp, intuitive understanding that comes from going through the ups and downs of life. It helps us tell the difference between the true light of divine wisdom and the false light, which is alluring but doesn't deliver on its promise. Yes, there are many dangers in externalizing spiritual power. It can cause us to lose touch with our inner guidance, which is the voice of our higher self trying to lead us back to the heart of the divine. If we put our trust in external sources of power, whether spiritual leaders, practices, or ideologies that don't align with our inner truth, we're giving away our autonomy. This makes us vulnerable to manipulation and disillusionment. The Bible offers a great example of this challenge in the story of Jesus' temptation in the desert, as recounted in Matthew. After fasting for 40 days and nights, Jesus is confronted by the devil, who offers him all the kingdoms of the world in exchange for his worship. This temptation is the ultimate example of the false light, power, dominion, and glory on offer, but at the cost of one's soul. Jesus' refusal of these offers shows he had the discernment to distinguish between true spiritual sovereignty and the illusion of power offered by the false light. His responses show he has a strong grasp on his divine mission and is fully committed to his path. This shows that true power isn't about controlling the external world, but about mastering yourself and aligning with the divine will. As you move through the twists and turns of your spiritual journey, the story of Jesus' temptation offers a helpful reminder to develop your ability to distinguish between different forms of guidance. It encourages you to look within for your strength, to connect with your spiritual side, and to trust in the guidance that comes from within. Facing the false light is not something to be afraid of. It's actually a chance to grow and connect with the true light that's inside you. This light will guide you towards spiritual sovereignty and help you achieve your highest potential. In this pursuit, remember that the brightest light isn't found in the accolades and achievements of the material world. It's found in the quiet, steady glow of your inner being, illuminating the path back to the divine. 6. The shift from the dualistic dream to the unified reality of oneness. It's not just a change in how we see things. It's a big change, a breaking down of the walls that have been there for a long time, between us and other people, between humans and the divine, between creation and the Creator. It's about understanding that everything in life is connected, that every heartbeat is part of the bigger picture, and that every soul is a part of something bigger. The path to oneness is as old as time itself. It's been traveled by mystics, sages, and seekers for as long as anyone can remember. It starts with seeing that duality is a natural part of the journey of the soul. It's like a canvas on which the story of separation and reunion is painted. As we grow and evolve, the stark contrasts of light and shadow, right and wrong, us and them, start to blur and merge into a singular vision of divine unity. This is the awakening to unity consciousness, where the illusion of separation dissolves in the light of universal love and understanding. It's through personal experience that we develop this understanding of Christ consciousness. You don't learn about oneness by studying doctrine or dogma. You learn it by experiencing love, compassion, and connection in your life. Every kind act, every moment of genuine empathy, and every sacrifice made in the name of love brings us closer to realizing Christ consciousness within. It's a journey that requires courage to face our inner shadows, embrace the light of truth, and surrender to the flow of divine love that permeates all existence. The essence of this journey is captured in the new commandment that Jesus gave. Love each other as I have loved you. These words aren't just a moral rule, they're a deep spiritual teaching that shows us how to live in unity through unconditional love and connection. To love as Jesus loved is to see the divine in everyone, to recognize the sacredness of all life, and to understand that when you love another, you love yourself and the divine at the same time. This commandment is a guiding light for those on the path to unity consciousness. It serves as a reminder that the journey is not about individual ascension, but about collective awakening to the reality that we are all connected. As you walk this path, remember that unity consciousness is not just a distant ideal. It's a living reality that you can access in every moment of love and connection. When you love unconditionally and see the divine in all, you realize you're not separate. You're a vital thread in the creation, intimately woven into the fabric of the universe. This journey to oneness is the ultimate expression of spiritual evolution. It's a return to the heart of existence, where every soul meets in the boundless embrace of divine love. As we stand at the start of a new era, where the noise of the outside world often drowns out the quiet voice of the Spirit, the hidden teachings of Jesus shine like a beacon of hope, guiding seekers on the path of true spiritual awakening. These teachings, hidden in parables and metaphors, go far beyond what traditional doctrine offers. They provide a map to the treasure within. It's a treasure that represents unity consciousness and the embodiment of divine love in everyday life. Engaging with these teachings is about more than just intellectual understanding. It's also about gaining experiential wisdom. It's one thing to read about loving unconditionally, forgiving endlessly, and serving humbly. It's another to live these truths, to weave them into the fabric of your daily existence. This is the challenge and the invitation of Jesus' hidden teachings, to not merely admire the light from afar, but to become a bearer of that light, illuminating the path for yourself and others.